I woke up a day and a half later. Reacher star Alan Ritchson details the stunt that knocked him out filming his Season 3 finale fight. Reacher star Alan Ritchson recalls the one stunt in the Season 3 finale's Polly fight that knocked him unconscious. Based on Lee Child's Jack Reacher novel series, the hit Prime Video show premiered in 2022 before returning for its third outing earlier this year, adapting the events of Persuader. The Reacher Season 3 finale finally gave audiences the brutal Reacher and Polly Olivier Richters that has been teased all season, with Ritchson's character enduring a grade of punishment as the massive enforcer throws him through walls, tables, and everything in between during an extended brawl. In a recent interview with EW, Ritchson reveals that he was determined to do many of his own stunts for this Reacher Season 3 fight sequence, which took about 3 weeks to film. One stunt that Ritchson got some pushback on, however, was one in which Polly lifts Reacher up and smashes him down through a table into the floor. Ritchson said that his desire to do the stunt himself resulted in a huge fight with his team, but the action beat was important to him. I was like, I want the audience to know that I'm doing this for us. I'm taking one for Reacher and we're all in this together, and so I wanted the camera to come up and just stay on my face the whole time while I get smashed through a table on the barn floor. Ritchson was told by his team that he was likely to be severely injured doing this particular stunt, and the actor says it ended up being a lesson in being careful what you wish for. The star reveals that he was knocked unconscious from the impact, giving himself and his family quite a scare. I got picked up, and we worked out the camera thing a few times, and he slammed me through the table so hard, I went through it into the 7th circle of hell. And I woke up a day and a half later. When I came to, I had to tell my kids that I felt great because they were on set, and I didn't want them to think that, like, Dad died and was going to not be okay. It was the worst few minutes of my life. What this means for Reacher Season 3, the response to Reacher Season 3 has been glowing from critics, resulting in a 98% score on Rotten Tomatoes. A key reason for the praise, which echoes the sentiments surrounding Seasons 1 and 2, is that Ritchson is perfectly cast as the show's title character. Clearly, he doesn't just have the acting chops to pull the part off, but he's willing to go above and beyond to make the show as entertaining as possible. As Greg MacArthur writes in his Reacher Season 3 review for Screen Rant, Ritchson once again proves that he was born to play Reacher, a role he nearly lost but fought his way back to landing. Ritchson's story, however, does highlight the importance of stunt performers in the movie and TV making process. If Ritchson had been more seriously injured, this would have put the entire production at risk. Stunt performers are highly trained when it comes to taking hard hits and selling them on camera, and Ritchson himself may not have this level of expertise. Ritchson's unfortunate experience shooting this scene may affect his willingness to do similar stunts in Reacher Season 4, or the stunts themselves may be pulled off with more safety precautions. Alan Ritchson has never been one to shy away from physicality. Whether it's pushing the limits in a brutal Reacher brawl or transforming into a live-action superhero, the 6'3" actor built his reputation on grit, muscle, and a raw kind of intensity. But even for a guy who's been Superman sort of and a vigilante hawk, the Reacher Season 3 finale asked too much. In a recent behind-the-scenes interview, Ritchson recounted a harrowing on-set experience that left him unconscious, literally, for over 36 hours. Greater than I woke up a day and a half later, he said, half laughing, half wincing. At first, I thought I was still filming. The actor was referring to the climactic fight scene of Season 3's finale, one of the most ambitious and physically demanding action sequences in Reacher history. Set in an abandoned foundry in Pittsburgh, the scene is a sprawling 12-minute showdown between Jack Reacher and a group of mercenaries hell-bent on burying the truth and him. I wanted it to look real. Maybe too real. According to Ritchson, the fight was meticulously choreographed. But the moment things went off script, it became dangerously real. We'd rehearsed it for weeks, he explained. The director, the stunt team, everyone was on point. But on the final take, I asked if we could go a little harder, more intense. I didn't want it to feel clean. Reacher's not a martial artist. He's a brawler, a bulldozer. He's a freight train who never stops. That intensity led to a moment Ritchson won't soon forget, or rather, a moment he literally can't remember. The hit heard around Prime Video. While shooting a segment where Reacher is slammed headfirst into a steel pillar, the actor insisted on doing the stunt himself. The plan was simple: use a padded dummy pillar for the main shot and cut in reaction shots later. But with the adrenaline pumping and the cameras rolling, Ritchson missed his mark. I pivoted just a little late, he said. Instead of the soft rig, my head connected with a reel beam at full speed. Crew members say they heard the sound across the soundstage. The moment was so shocking that production was immediately halted and medics rushed in. He dropped like a sack of bricks, recalled one stunt coordinator. It was terrifying. 1 second he's Reacher, the next he's completely out cold. Ritchson was rushed to a nearby hospital, where he remained unconscious for over 36 hours. Doctors diagnosed a severe concussion and minor skull trauma. Miraculously, there was no long-term damage, just a painful lesson in knowing your limits. I felt like I got hit by a truck. Probably because I did. When Ritchson woke up, he reportedly asked the nurse if they got the shot. His first concern was whether the scene would make it into the finale. "That's just who Alan is," said director Sam Hill. "The guy's a beast, but he's also deeply committed to getting it right." Still, after that, we had a long talk about the line between real and reckless. Production was delayed for a week while Ritchson recovered. The final fight was eventually completed with more reliance on stunt doubles and digital enhancement, but you wouldn't know it watching the finished product. Reacher doesn't flinch, but Alan might now. The Reacher series, based on Lee Child's best-selling novels, has always leaned into gritty realism. Ritchson's portrayal of the stoic, steel-jawed drifter has become a defining aspect of the show's success. But the actor admits this close call has changed how he approaches the work. "I'm still going to give 110%, Ritchson said. "But maybe next time, I'll trust the stunt guy a little more. I've got 3 kids, I'd like to remember their names." That humility is a shift for the actor, who's often spoken about the toll his action-heavy roles take on his body. During Season 2, he tore a ligament in his shoulder while lifting a car door for a scene. In Season 1, he suffered cracked ribs during a rooftop chase. Fans might be shocked to learn how much of the stunt work he does himself, but Ritchson insists it's about respect for the character, for the audience, and for the story. Reacher's not flashy. He's not smooth. When he hits, it lands. I try to honor that with every movement. But yeah, maybe a little less headfirst into metal next time. Will the scene stay in the show? According to Prime Video executives, the controversial take where Ritchson was actually injured might be included in the Season 3 finale, but with heavy editing. There's even talk of using it as a reference for a possible behind-the-scenes featurette. "We're not glorifying injury," said producer Don Granger, "but that moment captures the raw, visceral energy that makes Reacher what it is. We're just grateful Alan's okay." What's next for Ritchson? Despite the accident, Ritchson says he's already back in training and has resumed work on other projects, including his expanding role in the Fast and Furious franchise and the upcoming action thriller, The Man with No Time. But he hasn't